Quick disclaimer, this video has no visuals. It is intended to be listened to in the background as you shiny hunt or do your dishes or whatever it is that you like to do while watching YouTube. Hope you enjoy. So I want to share some more stories about my time with Pokemon and my journeys and adventures, my characters, and their lore that I came up with. If you haven't watched the previous video about this, please go show it some love. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, turn that bell notification on. It is completely free and it would mean the world to me. That being said, let's get into it. So Ciel is one of the many heroes of Hisui in the multiverse that we know as the Pokemon world. But something you might not know about her is that she has a story beyond Legends Arceus, one that continues to grow. This is the story so far. Ciel wakes up in the land of Hisui, just like all the others in her place across the multiverse. She meets the people and the Pokemon of the land. She calms the raging nobles and uncovers the truth about Volo and Arceus. But after those events, Ciel, not knowing how to get back to her own time, leaves the land of Hisui from Prelude Beach for a fresh start somewhere else with her Pokemon. Several calm days pass aboard the ship until it is caught in Kyogre's storm. The ship is swallowed by the ocean. Ciel, the other passengers, and the crew along with it. Miraculously, Ciel is woken up on the shores of present-day Paldea by a worried Sprigatito. Alternatively, this is where the timeline splits. In other branches of reality, Ciel wakes up in other regions. One of them being the region of Ilios from Pokemon Lazarus, where the events of my Pokemon Lazarus Nuzlocke occur. And the other in Pokemon Emerald Seaglass's Hoenn region. Fantastic game that I've played through normally and as a Nuzlocke. Noticing all her Pokemon are missing, Ciel accepts Sprigatito as her new partner Pokemon and sets out to find any traces of her lost Hisui Pokemon. After hearing rumors of Titan Pokemon fitting the description of her Hisui team, Ciel joins Uva Academy in hopes of finding allies to aid her on her quest. She builds a new team, visits the land of Kitakami and the Blueberry Academy. She finds all but one member of her Hisui team, Togekiss. And this is simply because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet didn't include the Togepi line. Shortly after becoming a champion ranked trainer, Ciel finds an article about the exhibition on Hisui at the Lumiose Museum, and that Volo personally donated his old attire. Deciding to track him down with the hopes that he might hold some clues as to the whereabouts of Togekiss, Ciel finds herself in the city of Lumiose, participating in the ZA Royale where the events of Legends ZA unfold. I want to mention another piece of lore as well, about Ciel's Hisuian Zorua. Ciel found this little guy in the Alabaster Icelands, and just seeing how cute it was, never wanted to evolve it into Hisuian Zoroark. And that's it. That's the reason why Ciel doesn't use a Hisuian Zoroark. I began my Pokemon story when I was around 6 or 7 years old, with a Nintendo DS Lite and a copy of Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. I remember playing it constantly. It was my go-to game at the time, as it wasn't for a few more years that I would play a main series Pokemon title. When I look back at the time, I remember something quite interesting. I was on holiday when I met another Pokemon fan, the same age as me, called Kurt. And Kurt, if you're watching, I hope you're well. You still owe me a Snivy. Anyway, we did a lot of trading and battling with the Union Room, in which you can set your own trainer class. And mine, for some reason, was automatically set to a Pokemon Ranger. I think I changed it to an Age Trainer or something because I thought they looked cooler than Gen 5's Ranger class. But it's fairy dust. It doesn't exist. Like most Pokemon fans, if not all, I have my own Pokemon trainer persona, a character with a background and a history, adventures and challenges. This is Cal, a Pokemon trainer originally from Galar who moved to November Town, Unova, and began his journey alongside Teppy the Tepig, now Teppy the Emboar, who soloed Unova's Pokemon League Challenge. He left Teppy in the care of Professor Juniper to travel Johto and Kanto, challenging their Pokemon League while showing some love to a Pokemon he didn't think he would choose. You see, when Professor Elm gave him the option of Totodile, Cyndaquil or Chikorita, he was torn between fire and grass. To make the decision easier for him, he chose neither, and Totodile, now Feraligatr, joined him instead. Leaving Feraligatr with Juniper as well, Cal journeyed to Kalos alongside Chesnaught, Lucario, Talonflame, Charizard, Sylveon, and Goodra, and eventually encountered and caught the legendary Articuno. Sadly, all I have left of this team is Lucario and Articuno, but these two Pokemon became the go-to Pokemon for a long time. They did everything, sometimes even being the only Pokemon in the party. Articuno would even become the first Pokemon of mine to reach level 100. Later, Cal went to Hoenn, then Alola, and eventually, after leaving his friends in the hands of Professor Kukui, he would arrive back in Galar for another adventure with another team of amazing Pokemon. After Sword and Shield, I somewhat semi-retired the character of Cal in favor of Ciel. In my head, Cal had decided to briefly leave the life of Pokemon training for a go at the Pokemon Ranger life, where he would meet and befriend his partner Shaman. Together they would tackle forest fires, flash floods, saving people and Pokemon in storms and at sea, thwarting evil plots and catching poachers. But recently, Cal has been wanting to return to the world of Pokemon training, and he's heard the best place to be a Pokemon trainer right now is Lumiose City, and thus his story continues. If you enjoyed this video, please give it some love by liking and subscribing. I love storytelling, and for a while now I've really wanted to tell my Pokemon headcanons, but I've been a bit too hesitant to do so. But thanks to Lorekeeper Toby, I felt inspired to bring these stories to everyone, and I would really encourage telling your own Pokemon stories, either in video format or in the comments of this video or the last video, or even Toby's video, which inspired these. With that being said, I'll see you when I see you, and remember, it is all C Elementary, my dear friends. Peace.